I feel a lot of ways like Jack is watching down on us, and he's hearing all these great stories and all these great comments about him, and he's really loving the attention. Jack Cummins was a true Irish American, so we're going to do this a little bit Irish style, and let's make this a celebration of his life. That's what he would have wanted. Stand this one out of me. Okay. If you knew Jack for more than 5 minutes, you have a good story to tell. Okay? My name is Andy Draus, and this is my Jack story. So, Jack and I literally grew up together. We met in the summer of 1976, bicentennial year. He was 8 and I was 9. Fate placed us in the same neighborhood on the east side of Geneva and on the same Park District baseball team, Burgess Norton. Still remember that. I played shortstop. Jack played second base. Actually short center field, but we'll call it second base. And that initial relationship set the tone for our friendship. We were a double play combination, always side by side against a common goal or opponent. Jack's my oldest friend. He was my first real friend, which makes him my oldest friend. We went to different schools until my senior year of high school. Jack was here at St. Peter's and then Marmion. I was in public school. But in the summertime, we were inseparable. If you've seen the movie Stand By Me, that's what our summers were like, minus the dead body. We played backyard wiffle ball. Jack rooted for the Cubs. I was the White Sox guy. We discovered comic books. I remember the two of us and our brothers, Craig and Paul, riding our banana seat bikes over the river, downtown to BC News and Card Shop. Mixed in with all the magazines and tobacco products, BC News had the best comic book selection in Geneva, about the only comic book selection. Each of the four of us had a quarter to spend. That's what comic books cost back then. We would each buy one comic book, ride back home, and read them. Then we would pass and share, so we each got to read 4 comic books. We all had different favorites. I liked the Avengers. Paul was an X-Men guy. Greg loved the Amazing Spider-Man. Jack loved the Fantastic Four. There were 4 main male characters in the Fantastic Four, and I think Jack would channel them all at various times. Serious, intelligent Mr. Fantastic, the loyal friend kicking ass, the Thing, the brash young heartthrob, the Human Torch, and don't forget the diabolical Dr. Doom coming up with the plan to take over the world. Jack had him in him too. In the summer of 1977, we saw Star Wars, and then we saw Star Wars again and again and again, where I identified with the adorable, idealistic hero Luke Skywalker. Jack was surely the swashbuckling, wisecracking, devilishly handsome Han Solo. And we know who gets the princess in the end of that story. We were the boys of summer. We called ourselves the Glengarry Street Gang. We weren't the gang like Chicago's notorious gangster disciples. We were more like the gang and the outsiders. Just hanging out together, trying to figure out how we fit in with the world. We played Dungeons and Dragons, read Lord of the Rings, rode our bikes up and down hills, wrote and drew our own comic books, delivered newspapers together, served mass in the church here together, hung out at the neighborhood pool, and 100 other things, some of which I can't remember. You don't want to hear them all anyways. During this time, Jack and Greg's parents were splitting up. And Jack had a very rough relationship with his father for a long time. We didn't talk about it then, not very much anyways. We had too many adventures to go on. But I remember later, Jack called me up after he saw the movie Field of Dreams. Tell me to go see it. Because it was about fathers and sons who didn't get along. And he loved that movie. And then he made peace with his father, for sure. before his father passed. And of course, we played soccer, lots and lots of soccer. We always played on the same team, from Park District to high school to men's teams. We invented a game we called hackball, which was basically 3v3 with a Nerf soccer ball and no rules. No harm, no foul. That was our futsal. We didn't know it then, but that's where it was. I became a defender. Jack, like his favorite player, Karl-Heinz Granitza, he was more offensive in more ways than one. Jack and I later founded the Geneva Dog Soccer Club, simply because we missed playing soccer and we wanted to have a team in Geneva after we graduated college. We didn't want soccer to end, and it never ends. After college, we lived together for a time in Lincoln Park. We were both in law school at DePaul at night. We also worked together at Olympic Federal, a job that Jack actually got for me. We played soccer a few times a week together. We spent so much time together that my girlfriend Susan was actually jealous of Jack. Of course, it didn't help when she would call the apartment and I wasn't there, and Jack would say, "I think he might be studying with that girl from law school. What's her name?" Jack loved getting me in trouble. He laughed at that. He loved playing with that. Of course, Jack stood up for me when I married Susan, who's now my wife, at our wedding in 1992, upstairs here. After Jack graduated law school and I was starting my own practice, he hired me again to work of counsel. You know what that means, huh? At Geneva and Cummins. So we were both together again for the beginning of both of our law firms. Without getting into details, you could say we grew up together all over again, this time professionally. I could list 100 character traits about Jack, but I can hear him now saying, "Hey, let's move this along, Mouse. We don't have all day." So I'm going to pick 3. Number 1, Jack was fiercely loyal. He's the most loyal person I've ever known. When we were younger, that meant if one of us got into an altercation, like Mark maybe, we all had to be ready to fight. Groucho Marx once said, "When you're in jail, a good friend will be trying to bail you out. A best friend will be in the cell next to you saying, 'Damn, that was fun.'" That was Jack. Once Jack counted you as his friend, he would do anything for you. If you were in trouble, Jack would do everything he could to help you. And that loyalty was tenfold for his family. Jack could pound on Greg when they were kids, and often did. If anyone else threatened Greg, Jack was immediately in their face, saying, "You have to go through me first." Second trait, Jack was incredibly brave, almost fearless. Sometimes I would say he was maybe reckless. If you ever rode with Jack in his Mazda RX-7, you were in for a thrilling roller coaster ride and a near-death experience. With Jack at the wheel. That car was small enough to drive under a semi-truck, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jack tried it. "That's okay, Jack, I'll drive. We don't have room for our gear because you have no back seat." That's what I told him. Done with that. But that fearlessness drove Jack to try new things, to go for it. For example, in the old law firm days, Jack would meet a potential client with a legal problem, and he would convince him that Geneva and Cummins was a law firm to handle that problem, no matter what it was. "But Jack, we don't know how to do a temporary restraining order in federal court." "Don't worry," he'd say, "we'll figure it out." And somehow he was right. Before too long, the firm had a reputation as a TRO boutique. This happened again and again. Jack had an unshakable belief in his intelligence and his abilities, and that belief drove him to accept every challenge, every opportunity. I always admired that bravery. Finally, number 3, Jack lived his life to the fullest. He didn't leave anything on the table. His mom said last night, he lived the life he loved. Our professional lives diverged about 20 years ago. Jack went on to many new challenges. You heard a lot about the DePaul stuff today. He formed the DePaul Alumni Association. was on advisory committees for athletics, and the dean, the College of Law. He received the Outstanding Young Alumnus Award by the DePaul University College of Law, and the Reverend John T. Richardson Award for Outstanding Contributions to DePaul University Athletics. Jack also represented Arcade Entertainment, a comic book company, and ended up somehow becoming their president. And there he oversaw their merger with Boom Studios and negotiated turning comic books into movies and TV shows. Jack helped start the Women's Professional Soccer League and the original Chicago Red Stars. Most recently, he was a managing director at Club 9 Sports, and it just started the National Independent Soccer Association, or NISA. We'll be hearing more and more about them in the future. It's a new professional sort of minor league system based on Euro. And of course, Jack played lots of soccer, and he traveled the world. Not just back and forth to California, but to Europe, to Asia, to Africa for the World Cup. Jack would fly out to London for the weekend to watch a soccer match. Now that's living the dream. Jack's obituary is listed online by DePaul University, Soccer America, and Multiversity Comics. How many people can say that? All right, this one's for the soccer guys. There's only one Jack Cummins. He's the only one. For all that, Jack was still Jack. He was always quick to respond to a call or a text, ready to meet you for a beer or a Cubs game, or a beer at a Cubs game. Always willing to help you find a solution to a problem or to just talk things through. S.E. Hinton, the author of The Outsiders, once wrote, "If you have two friends in your life, you're lucky. If you have one good friend, you're more than lucky." For many of us, Jack was that friend. We were lucky. Like a shooting star, Jack blazed across our lives, touched so many people, and left so many stories. So, this is Jack's. We're going to do a toast. All right, so everybody raise your, sorry Jack, it's not beer. Raise your water, your coffee, or whatever else you're drinking. All right, join me here. To Jack, we love you, we miss you. We'll see you on the other side, brother. Thank you.